I'd like to call to order the inaugural meeting of the council for 2018 to 2022 of the District of Squamish.
Welcome everyone to the traditional territory of the Squamish Nation. Really, there's only a few items on our agenda tonight, and we'll be starting with the swearing-in ceremony for members of council. So with that, I will turn it over first to Suezia Spukwis.
Hard to put, whose back do I put to? No. So Hosium El Tnoya Min heute ans to Suezia Spukwis Hasquile Stitstays Hostin Squan El Tnoya Major Hoj Chasiam Hojus Hodens Behaim Hojus Chisha Tamail Hojus to Squamish off of mail. My ancestral name is Suezia, and I also carry Spukwis. I come from a village called Squamish. My English name is known as Alice Gus. I'm going to get my daughter to introduce herself. William.
Osquile, Dominic Queen, Sna, Nethlin, Suezia, Kashaman, Chinachin, Tla, Stopmas, Ochomeo, Skahot, Meshov, Ananaxon, Squallen, Ailton, Sequatos, Chenkwan, Matomi. Hello. Hi, I'm Dominique. My ancestral name is Suezia. I come from the Stopmas village and the Squamish Nation. I am a respectful person in all my relations.
So with that, I want to thank our new mayor, Karen, for acknowledging they are on Squamish territory. So for the people that don't know, we actually have 6 villages, 6 livable villages up here in Squamish. We have the Chiakamis by Chikai. We have Wewacum in Brackendale. We have Cowtain right by the new Tim Hortons. We have Uquaxum by West Coast Railway. We have Stopmas, where you guys know as Totem Hall. And we have Siachum, where the Watershed Grill or the Eagle Watch is. So those are our 6 livable villages. We are, if I can paint you a picture of how big Squamish Nation territory is, north of us, we neighbor the Lillooet Nation by the Whistler Mountain. Prior to 2010, the 2 nations got together and they signed a piece of paper, a memorandum of understanding stating that yes, we have overlapping lands. We understand that, and we are not going to fight, so that's why they signed a piece of paper. Down south of us, we neighbor the Musqueam Nation. On the east side, we neighbor Tsleil-Waututh Nation. If you guys don't know where that is, that's Burrard Indian Band by Deep Cove. And then we neighbor on the west side, we neighbor Sechelt over by Gibson's. You guys call it Gibson's, and our village is Chalkwelt. So there are many villages. My great-great-grandmother was born and raised in what you guys now know as Potlatch Creek. She was known to be Princess of Peace because we had our enemies. We had the Chilcotin people and we had the Quaquaqueoc people. And it just so happened those two got married and they had a child, and that child was my great-great-grandmother. And so they called her the Princess of Peace because they no longer want to fight anymore. My great-great-great-grandparents lived in a village called Snout. You guys now know that as False Creek. My great-great-grandparents lived in a village which you guys now know as Stanley Park. I can go back, I can share a lot about our roots. So the song that we are going to sing today is Hope Hope Che. It's a welcome song. Chief Joe Capilano, Siapalak Siam, he and two other chiefs, they went over to London, England of April of 1906. He went over there because he was worried about the colonization of our land, because already they were taking over our villages in Vancouver. Then 1906, they start knocking down the first trees in North Vancouver. That's when he's getting worried. What? They're starting to take our land over on this side. So he went to go see King Edward. And do you think King Edward gave him an answer? No. I just like teasing you guys. Okay, so this is the song that he sang. And tonight, on behalf of the Squamish Nation, we have our Councillor Joyce, if you want to come up and stand up with us, and Ma and Art. We want to honor, I'm going to go from my left to my right, so we want to honor Eric Anderson, we want to honor John French, we want to honor Armored Hereford, we want to honor our new Mayor Karen Elliott, and our Councillor Chris Pettingo, and our Councillor, our returning Councillor, Doug Race, that's awesome, and then a new Jenna Stoner. So I know a majority of you other than Jenna and Armin, but the rest of you I've known because I know some of you have grown up here in Squamish. So we want to sing the song Hope Hope Che Hosium. Everybody go home now. So before I close out again, I just want to thank our past mayor, Patricia Heinzen, for doing awesome work. I know she worked really hard with our Squamish Nation, and I hope the new guys, our new mayor and our new council will continue to work with Squamish Nation, because we know we are. You look at everyone as a child. And it takes a village to raise a child. Because that's the way how we see it. We are always make sure the child's in front of us and we are raising them. We're going to raise them to be leaders. We're going to raise them to be artists. We're going to raise them to be athletes. Whatever their gift is. The Creator has given each and every one of us a gift. And I like how they have the eye of the Creator. Back in the day, I was volunteering for a year and a bit, and we were on that branding committee. And it was really good. I felt really good because I was part of that circle. I was part of the district circle in our territory. So it felt really good to be part of it, and that's what I'm just expressing myself to continue on this good work that's going on. And I mentioned it last July 1, I says, next year, hopefully, we have the Squamish Nation flag up there. So Hosiam Hopton Squan, it's great that all of you have come here tonight. I'm sorry, but I can't say I'm going to eat and run because I didn't eat, but I'm going to sing and run. My daughter's got to do another drumming and singing gig tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Suezia and Dominique, for starting us off in such a good way and for connecting us to place and making us, start the evening recognizing the responsibility we have. So we move onwards to the oaths and affirmations, and the Honorable Judge Milne has joined us this evening, and I guess I'm first.
You are, but just before you come up, I'd like to say a few words as well as I could. My name is Judge John Mill, and I'm the Regional Administrative Judge for Vancouver. My territory includes Richmond, Vancouver, North Vancouver, and the Sea to Sky corridor, and there's about 5 courthouses involved in that. And I'd like to, first of all, offer my congratulations to those who have been elected, and also to the candidates who were unsuccessful in obtaining public office. And thanks are due for participating in the democratic process and making it stronger. And I'm going to address the councillors that as councillors you are given the ability to make and administer laws, and you've been afforded the right by the people to whom you now owe a legal duty in which you are about to acknowledge by your oath. It is an honor and privilege for me, representing one branch of government, the judiciary, to take the oath from another branch of government, the legislative branch or the council, of your oath or affirmation. And I also acknowledge members of the Squamish Nation and their government who are here today. For those who have served in municipal government in the past, and for those of you here tonight, you will start or continue to serve, the community owes you a debt of gratitude. You have given time away from your family. You're going to be dealing with difficult community problems. You're preparing for meetings by reading voluminous materials, and they at times have to look into the eyes of your neighbors when making difficult decisions which may negatively affect them. That's not an easy task, and the making of tough decisions is something that representatives, elected or appointed, of all branches of government have in common. So as you make those decisions, I urge you to remember that our society and your community functions because of the role and responsibilities that you have undertaken, and to your commitment in maintaining a lawful, just, and peaceful society. And that's the true meaning of your oath or your affirmation that you're making tonight. So I'm going now to proceed with the administration of the oath of office. And rather than doing it one at a time, I'm going to tell you what they're going to be affirming to or swearing to, and then they'll come up and do that individually. So each of them will either swear or affirm that they're qualified to hold the office. In the case of Mayor Elliott, the office of mayor. In the case of councillor, the office of councillors for the district of Squamish, to which they have been elected. Each of them are going to affirm or swear that they have not by themselves or any other person knowingly contravened the community charter and the local government act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. Their oath continues on that they will faithfully perform the duties of their office and will not allow any private interest to influence their conduct in public matters. And as required by the community charter, they will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest that they may have in a matter, and will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in respect of that matter. That is the oath or affirmation that each of them will be making before me and in your presence. In addition, they'll be signing another document, a code of conduct, which is part of the district's policy. So that's the oath, and I will now call upon Karen Elliott to come forth and to affirm that oath. Now, do you want to stand?
I don't know.
Come over here.
I feel like standing.
You want to stand? Standing is fine, but it's tough to sign when you're standing. All right, so Karen Elliott, do you solemnly affirm that oath that I've just read?
I do, so affirm.
Sign it, please. And here's the code of conduct.
The reason he's doing it that way is because Ted Pryor got his glasses the last time and couldn't read it.
Congratulations. Eric Anderson. Now, Mr. Anderson, you have heard that oath, and do you solemnly swear that that oath is true, so help you God?
I do.
All right, please sign it. And there's this code of conduct. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
John French. Mr. French, you have heard that oath read. Do you solemnly affirm that you will abide by it and it is true?
Yes, I do.
Sign there, please. That's the code of conduct. Congratulations. Our man, Herford. All right, Mr. Herford, you have heard that oath. Do you solemnly affirm that that oath is true and that you will abide by it? Sign here, please. And the code of conduct. Congratulations. Chris Pettingill. Mr. Pettingill, you've heard that oath. Do you agree to swear that to be true and that you solemnly will abide by it?
Yes, I do.
Sign here. And there's a code of conduct signature there. Congratulations. Doug Riggs. Doug, this is getting to be a habit. Mr. Race, you have heard that oath, and do you affirm that it to be true and you agree to abide by it?
I do so affirm.
And the code of conduct, if you would sign that as well. Oops.
Doing this without my glasses.
Jenna Stoner. You've heard that oath I've read out. Do you solemnly affirm that you will abide by it and that it is true?
Yes, I do.
Sign there, please. There's a code of conduct signature there. Congratulations. So again, my congratulations to the new council.
Judge Milne, on behalf of the Squamish Council, I'd like to present you with this blanket and thank you for coming this evening.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, so we started orientation yesterday, so let's see if we can get this right. We have a little business to do this evening. So, Council, may I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Moved by Councillor Race, seconded by Councillor French. I'm going to have to learn all these last names now. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. So the first item of business is to appoint the acting mayor. The schedule for the period of November 6th to December 31st, 2019. That schedule being Councillor Race for November 2018, Councillor Stoner, December 2018, Councillor French, January and August 2019, Councillor Herford, February and November 2019, Councillor Anderson, March and December 2019, Councillor Pettengill, April and June 2019, Councillor Race, May and October 2019, Councillor Stoner, July and September 2019. Motion to approve? Moved by Councillor Pettengill, seconded by Councillor Anderson. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is our appointment to the Squamish-Lillooet Regional District. That pursuant to sections 784 and 786 of the Local Government Act, the District of Squamish appoint Mayor Elliott, holding 5 votes, and Councillor Race, holding 5 votes, as District of Squamish representatives to the Squamish-Lillooet Regional District, and that Council appoint Councillor Stoner as the first alternate and appoint Councillor Pettengill as the second alternate. Moved by Councillor Herford, seconded by Councillor Stoner. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We make appointments to the Municipal Insurance Association of British Columbia. So looking for a motion that we appoint Councillor Race as a voting delegate to represent the District of Squamish with the Municipal Insurance Association of British Columbia, and that Mayor Elliott be appointed as the alternate.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor French, seconded by Councillor Stoner. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. And now to the Library Board. That the District of Squamish appoint Councillor Herford to the Squamish Library Board for a 1-year term, and that Megan O'Neill, David Gayton, Grant McCready, Corrine Vischer be appointed to the Library Board for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2020. Moved by Councillor Pettengill, seconded by Councillor Race. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. This is going smoothly, Council. Thank you.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. The District of Squamish appoint Councillor Anderson to the Smoke Bluff Park Select Committee for a 1-year term. Moved by Councillor Stoner, seconded by Councillor Race. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We have the Public Arts Select Committee, and that the District of Squamish appoint Councillor French to the Public Arts Select Committee for a 1-year term. Moved by Councillor Herford, seconded by Councillor Pettengill. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. And then we adjust the council meeting schedule each year to give us all a little bit of a break in August. Our staff always appreciate that. So that the January 1, August 6th, and August 20th, 2019 regular business meetings be canceled, and that the District of Squamish approve the 2019 council meeting schedule. Moved by Councillor Race, seconded by Councillor Herford. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We move on to council and staff announcements. And so this is an opportunity, and we did give them a little bit of a heads up that they had this opportunity for council to make remarks this evening in front of our invited guests and honored guests. So I will allow you to decide who goes first.
You don't want the honor?
I get to go second,
Oh, it's.
as per the agenda.
Oh.
So does a member of council want to start us off?
Okay.
Thank you, Councillor Race.
Thank you. And it's good to see so many people here, actually. This is now the 4th swearing-in ceremony I've been to, and I think this is the one with the most people by far. So thank you for coming. This is the start of my 4th term, and on a personal level, that's actually quite a remarkable thing. because I spent most of my life absolutely convinced there would never be a first term. And so somehow I got into this, and here I am still. But it is a worthwhile thing, and I'm grateful again to the voters of the District of Squamish for electing me to this position. It is a great honor for me to serve in this position. There are a few people who are responsible, actually fewer and fewer each year. My campaign team is down to myself and one other person now, Denise Imbo, and if she's here, I'm not sure, but there she is, she's waving. Didn't see her sneak in. But thank you for your assistance in this campaign. This council, I think, represents the next generation of leadership in our community. And I'm referring to them, not to me. So but I think I'm very happy with this council and the election so far, and so far they've agreed with everything I've done, and so that's a good sign. I did point out to them, though, we had an event 2 weeks ago, the last meeting of the last council, and the Squamish Nation was there, and some of you may have been there, and I pointed out to them that the Squamish Nation actually treats their elders with a lot of deference and respect. And I was hoping it would sort of stick with them. So we'll see how far I get with that. But I am looking forward to serving with this group for the coming 4 years. Thank you.
Always a tough act to follow, but I guess I'll jump in next. So this is my first term on council. It is very, very exciting to be here. I want to share a quote that a citizen shared with me the day after I got elected that I think rings really true, and it's from Jane Jacobs. And she wrote, and I said after she had wrote this quote to me that I would print it off and tape it to my desk, which I still vow to do, and it says, cities have the capability of providing something for everybody only because and only when they are created by everybody. And I am so humbled to be here and have this honor and privilege to serve our community in this way as an elected official. But I recognize that it's just one way to serve our community. It takes all of us as neighbors to create the community and make Squamish the place that it is that we all want it to be. And so I'm really looking forward to working with each and every one of you, with each and every one member of our community, and for our community to make Squamish the place that we all want it to be. So thanks so much to everybody.
No, someone's pointing at you, John. You might as well.
All right, I'm in. We heard earlier this evening from Suecia how this is a village. It has been a village, and for me, that's very fitting. This is the village that raised me. I was born and raised here. And I'm truly grateful to be sitting at this table and to have the opportunity to serve the community that shaped who I am. And I'm grateful that the community has elected the individuals that are sitting at this table with me, because I think this is a powerful group of people who will do great things in our community. And I want to acknowledge a few people. My thank you list is long. I'll spare you, and I'll go with the short list. And history tells us a lot, so I first want to acknowledge Chief Joe Mathias. When I first started working at Mountain FM back in 1990, he was one of the very first people that I interviewed, a fellow full of wisdom. And through my years, I had the honor of interviewing every mayor from 1990 onwards: Egan Tobis, Phil Turner, Corrine Lonsdale, Ian Sutherland, Greg Gardner, Rob Kirkham, Patricia Heinzman, and Chief Gibby Jacob. These are the people who came before us and got us to where we are today. And I acknowledge the work that they did, the members of their council, and the councils before them. We've spent the last 2 days, particularly yesterday, getting to know each other and getting to know our personality traits and how we can expect to work together. We quickly identified as a group that one of the things that's missing at this table is action. We're not people of action. And that's just a product of our personalities and who we are. And we decided today, or we concluded today, that because we realize that and we acknowledge it, it's something that as a group we'll be working on together so that we are a group that's in action, even though it's not in our nature to do that. And I want to leave you with a quote from an individual who I have a great deal of respect for. His name is Werner Erhard. And he says, "What we mean by being given being and action by something bigger than oneself is being committed in a way that shapes one's being and actions so that they are in the service of realizing something beyond one's personal concerns. For oneself, beyond a direct personal payoff. As they are acted on, such actions create something to which others can also be committed and have the sense that their lives are being given being and action by something bigger than themselves. This is leadership." Thank you.
Who wants to take action and go for next? Okay, Chris.
So I'm feeling very, very fortunate to be here. And I guess, well, it makes me realize how important every single little vote is and gives...
The least likely person.
I am still absorbing what it means to be elected. It's been a really incredible couple of days getting to know the team that I'll be working with. I'm feeling overwhelmed with the people in this room, and as this new position, the responsibility and the excitement of the next 4 years ahead. So I just want to thank every voter, my campaign team, my partner, the team that's sitting here at this table with me, the staff that has helped us and will help us, and just say thank you, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years.
Thank you. Councillor Herford.
Thank you. For those of you in the room that know me, I tend to be long-winded, and I'm going to do my best to spare you that on this occasion. It's been an amazing experience just to get to this point at this table through the campaign process and the strange time in between when between being elected and joining you here tonight. The support of the community and the level of engagement from everybody has been overwhelming, and I hope that continues throughout our whole 4-year term. I want to thank my family first and foremost. Leah and Jada have both been very tolerant of my absence, or maybe that's a good thing, I'm not too sure. And I look forward to working with our schedules to get make that line up. But the last few weeks have been crazy. And the team that we have here in front of you, I'm really excited. Through our first 2 days has been great, and I haven't seen, sometimes when you start these projects or something similar that I've done, you see a red flag right away, like, oh no, this is going to be a problem. And everyone's been exceptionally professional and open-minded, and the staff, I've been overwhelmed with the quality of the staff that we're going to have an opportunity to work with. So thank you so much. Are you checking the time? Was that
No.
3 minutes? No. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Councillor Anderson?
Thank you. So our election journey, the community's election journey, I think will serve us very well these next while. It's been a wonderful and I think a successful experience for all of us. Successful not only for outcomes, of course, for us sitting here at the front here, but also the process itself. There have been many volunteers behind the candidates and many volunteers in community organizations behind that successful process, behind the events, the efforts to engage with the community and all of its participants and during this election journey. And I think that we should be acknowledging all of you volunteers, and especially you here this evening. We're so much a part of that election journey. Acknowledge you for its success. I'm especially glad to be joined this evening by an old friend, Siaptun. We went to school together at Squamish Elementary, and I'm very overjoyed that he's with me here this evening. About a year ago, I received the great honor of receiving a name from the Squamish Nation. It's Chichuat Skowick. I won't detail the meaning of that name, but it was to acknowledge our shared collaboration in our shared past, the past of our community and the Squamish Nation community together. And it will be a great honor during these next 4 years to work on our shared future together. I'm anxious to get on with the job, and I pledge to do my best. Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. So now it's my turn, and I do want to welcome everyone to this auspicious occasion. It is meaningful to the 7 of us up here, for sure. I want to thank Gwen Harry for being here as an elder from the Squamish Nation, and your presence reminds me of the deep responsibility this council has to acknowledge the rich history of this valley, while being mindful of stewarding the community responsibly for the many generations to come that will call this valley home. So thank you for being here. I want to thank my peer, Joyce Williams, for being here from Squamish Nation Council. We have a lot of work to do together over the coming 4 years. Certainly this council is committed to that work, and we look forward to our first meeting with Squamish Nation Council to start moving forward, pulling in the same direction. So thank you for being here this evening. There are many other community leaders here as well, and it's great to know we have so many dedicated partners to work with in the coming years who want nothing but the best for our community. So thank you all for being here. To Judge Milne, and as well as the Black Tusk Caledonia Pipes and Drum Band and the RCMP, thank you for being here to add a sense of pomp and ceremony to the evening. It's been great to have them here. And finally, to all the friends, family, and community members, young and old, who supported the 7 of us behind the scenes so that we could step forward and serve our community, I thank you. I also want to begin my comments this evening by thanking Mayor Heinzman, who's here. Not only for serving her community on council for 13 years, but also, more personally, for her mentorship over the last 4 years, her unwavering encouragement and support during the election process. She did have to bring me wine or cider and chocolate. And for generously sharing her time, knowledge, and sense of humor over the last few weeks as she started to hand over her responsibilities to me. Thank you. It wouldn't surprise anyone that knows you that you have fulfilled your duties right up until today as you tied up loose ends, you supported the groundbreaking of Under One Roof yesterday, and you responded to a last-minute panic advice request as I was working on this speech. So, thank you. Your dedication to the role of mayor, to our community, and to always finding a way forward are important principles that I take with me into this new council term. So thank you. So where to begin an inaugural address? It's not something I've done before. And in essence, I'm actually a speaker who tends to write just a few notes and then fill in the gaps of sort of where, how I feel in the moment. But then I got an email from a staff member yesterday that said, "I'll need a copy of your speech after tomorrow night." And that changed my process a little bit. I do feel the weight of responsibility that comes with my position as mayor. And it's not just this, although this is helping me feel a bit grounded tonight. And I'm humbled by the trust that people have placed in me to help guide this community over the next 4 years. And I am mindful of the many people elected officials and citizens alike who came before me and collectively helped to shape the community through their hard work, ingenuity, and resourcefulness. Now it is the opportunity for this council to contribute to this legacy and continue to shepherd Squamish during this time of great opportunity as well as great challenge. My uncle sent me an email of congratulations after the election and reminded me that although I am working at the local level, to remember that this council has the ability to contribute meaningfully through our words, our actions, and policy to addressing some of the most pressing issues at the national and global level. We are part of a bigger system. And just as we can be impacted by those greater social, economic, and environmental forces, we can and must do our part to address them as well. That will take the hard work of this council working in collaboration with our community. The challenges and opportunities we face are complex, and the complexity means that we won't have all the answers at City Hall. I've always said that the best ideas don't usually come from council, although sometimes we surprise ourselves. They come from anywhere. And we have to commit as a council to continuously improve on our governance practices to ensure that there's transparency for our community, that there's access to information, that we are engaging our citizens where and when they want to be engaged, and that we maintain a service and solutions-oriented approach to support the aspirations of our citizens, our community groups, and our local businesses. Our job is not to stand in the way. Our job is to convene, to support, and to help this community thrive in whichever way it feels is important. One of the most important roles as a council is to represent all the people of Squamish, not just the most buoyant cheerleaders nor the loudest detractors. Sometimes it's hard to hear those voices in the middle. Sometimes we have to go and seek them out, but they are there, and they are asking us to grapple with possible solutions that fall somewhere in between the two extremes of an issue. They ask us for subtlety and nimbleness in our thinking. They ask us to think outside the box. The art of decision-making is discovering the information offered by all three of those groups, the cheerleaders, the detractors, and the quiet middle, and using it to develop sustainable policy or land use decisions that make sense over the long term. And finally, I ask the community to remember that not one of the people sitting before you ran for elected office because he or she had all of the answers. They have stepped forward because they care and they want to give back. And while the seven of us won't always agree or may debate the issues passionately from opposing points of view, at the heart of it all, the place where we always connect to each other and to our community is that we care about Squamish. I will always remind council to debate the policy, not the people, and I ask our community to do the same. There is no place for personal attacks in the public domain, and I will protect our staff and our council members when this occurs. It takes both strength and vulnerability to serve in elected office. I've learned that in spades over the last 4 years. In your other life, if you have a bad day, you get to come home, brush it off, and wake up the next morning with a fresh start. When you have a bad day in public office, it gets published in the newspaper, and then it gets rehashed over social media again and again and again. As I said to those who gathered with me on election night, it takes a strong back and a soft front to do this job. You need your strength to shoulder the responsibility, the weightiness of the decisions, or the intensity of a contentious public hearing. But you need to keep that soft part of you at the front open, an open heart, so to speak, so that you don't become cynical. You lose the ability, if you lose that softness, you lose the ability to hear what people are trying to say, your ability to empathize, your ability to connect if the armor gets too thick. And that's a tough balance, but it's a balance I ask all of us to strive for. We have much to accomplish over the next 4 years. It begins tonight, and it won't let up until the next council is sworn in 4 years from now. I am naturally optimistic, but I believe that we stand on a great foundation built by previous councils and by our community. Yes, undoubtedly, we have challenges in affordable housing, civic infrastructure, developing more family-supporting jobs locally, and doing our part to address climate change and protect our natural environment. But with focus, dedication, and an unfailing commitment to finding a way forward. We will make progress. Thank you. With that, motion to terminate. Moved by Councilor Ray, seconded by Councilor Stoner. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.